family goes back to the start of Warwick, and I feel a great tie to the region because of that. I hadn't been in the house before by myself, and that first afternoon when I closed up and came over to close it all up, I certainly felt something a little bit spooked. Spooked, a little bit eerie, because of the size of the house and the you know, it's quite cold inside, and turning all the lights off, and I think I waddled out in quite a hurry that afternoon. A couple of days later, I remember calling out, "Is anybody here?" Just to make sure there was nobody left in the house, and I immediately thought, don't do that, and someone might answer, and that would just be horrific. I try not to look at the windows when I'm walking across the lawn to the house, because the last thing I want to see is, you know, movement in a window. I think, it's 100% my imagination and reading too many Stephen King novels.
For the First World War, Mrs. Ormond, in her vision, because there was a great belief that Warwick was going to be the financial capital of the outback, she invested a large sum of money and completely grounded the old building and built the beautiful Criterion in 1917. You think that was in the Great War. So it was, she was a very visionary, incredible visionary, and she was, and very strong woman. Because you think a widow with 3 sons, and to take on such an endeavour. Yes, and so when the hotel was built, like, she's triple brick. She was known to have, west of Brisbane, she was the place to come to. She had state-of-the-art the cold room downstairs, the first place to have electricity all throughout. It had its own mill, its own well. They had, like, all the back of the hotel used to be the stables, and they actually had a horse and trap, which is actually in the Prindle Cottage Museum. They would go out, their porter would go out to the train station and collect people to come to the Criterion. You know when Mrs. Ormond's happy, and you know when she's not happy with you. There's we have a room called the Ormond Room, which is just adjoining the downstairs kitchen, and she's been seen that people would walk past the Ormond Room, and actually people have seen a strong, stout woman in Victorian dress walking into the mirror. And even the kitchen staff, we've had kitchen, our chefs, our cooks have actually noticed. There was one time one of our cooks said talked about the perfume that the manager was wearing, and she said, no, I'm not wearing a perfume. And she said, oh, that must be Mrs. Ormond.
There was a convent back in 1891. They were here for about 95 years. It taught a lot of students here. In the heyday, they had 60 girls living here and 30 nuns boarding here as well to teach the young girls. We own the building, but we don't own the building. It's there for the future generation to come through. We've recreated the building again so it lasts forever. It's like, are we haunted? We could be haunted. We've had lots of things happen here. I think there is things that happen here. My wife thinks there's not. So it's up to different people to come in and say, yeah, it is haunted, no, it's not. So we're just here to look after the building, to keep it going for the next generation, so it stays here forever, as we all hope old buildings do.